television ratings, higher attendance figures. Ladies and gentlemen, that doesn't come courtesy of a league. It comes courtesy of the players that play in the league. And in her case, she was the most popular, which means she could have helped your bottom line, which means you should have seen that from day one and maximized it. But you didn't do it.
Stephen A. Smith has never been one to hold back his opinions, but this time, he didn't just stir the pot. He flipped the whole kitchen table. His fiery takedown of the WNBA's treatment of Caitlin Clark wasn't just typical Stephen A. fireworks. It was a clarion call. At the heart of his frustration, the league's utter failure to fully ride the wave of its brightest, most bankable star. If you stand with Caitlin, drop a "CC is the GOAT" down in the comments below. Let's go.
You were a bit hesitant and reluctant and resistant to it. So much so you didn't push for her to be on Team USA. So much so, you had people like Cheryl Swoops who didn't even want to mention her name.
Picture this. A player so magnetic, so transformational, that she's filling arenas and shattering TV ratings before she even hits her prime. Caitlin Clark isn't just good, she's the phenomenon women's basketball has been waiting for. And yet, instead of rolling out the red carpet, the WNBA has practically thrown out a welcome mat that says, meh. Fans everywhere are left scratching their heads. How can a league cry out for growth then treat its biggest ticket like an afterthought?
Then are you willing to admit how stupid it was for y'all not to go all in speaking your piece to elevate Caitlin Clark? So therefore even more attention could have come and y'all could have reaped the benefits? Now you're gonna do it anyway, and I get that, but you see my point?
But Stephen A. wasn't just calling out a missed marketing opportunity. He was sending up a 5-alarm warning. The WNBA is standing at the edge of a major crossroads. If they fumble Caitlin Clark's rise, they're not just missing out on a good PR run. They're risking the biggest growth opportunity the league has ever seen. If they stay on this path of half-hearted support, the question isn't what could have been. It'll be, what did they just throw away?
And everybody talk about other WNBA players not being appreciated. Nobody insulted them. Nobody dismissed their contribution. We were simply saying, despite the contributions for years and years and years, a lot of people didn't care. Fair or not, until Caitlin Clark came along.
And when Stephen A. steps into the conversation, it's never just background noise. It's an event. His latest rant didn't just roast a few decisions. It absolutely torched the leadership of the WNBA, especially Commissioner Cathy Engelbert and the league's aging gatekeepers like Cheryl Swoops, who are acting more like jealous siblings than pioneers paving the way.
But if you went the opposite direction, it could have helped that much and facilitated you being in an even stronger position to get yours. But you didn't do it. You didn't do it. Wow.
Take a look at how the league reacted, or didn't react, to Clark's tidal wave of accolades. We're talking Forbes 30 Under 30, SBJ Sportsperson of the Year, Associated Press Female Athlete of the Year, Time Athlete of the Year. The list goes on. A generational icon building an empire while dragging the league into national headlines. And yet, from the WNBA leadership, crickets. No big campaigns. No major league-wide promotions. No, this is our moment rally cries. Cathy Engelbert apparently thought being a background extra in Caitlin's movie was enough leadership for one lifetime. And don't even get me started on how Clark's Rookie of the Year announcement was handled. Other rookies in past years got lavish celebrations, team events, primetime coverage. Clark? She got a phone call. Seriously, the biggest star in women's basketball in decades, and the WNBA managed to make her Rookie of the Year moment feel about as special as a pharmacy robocall. Fans noticed. They were furious. They didn't need Stephen A. to tell them the league was dropping the ball. They were already shouting it from the rooftops.
They were going to let her know she was Rookie of the Year with a phone call in Connecticut during a practice before a playoff game. You can't make this up.
The real question everyone should be asking is, why is this happening? Why is a league supposedly hungry for attention acting allergic to the best thing that's ever happened to it? Why the weird, passive-aggressive energy toward the player who's carrying the sport into millions of new homes? It's like they're scared of success if it doesn't come with the politics they prefer. Stephen A's takedown wasn't a hot take. It was the truth fans and analysts have been whispering for months. And he didn't just talk about Caitlin Clark, he lit up the whole system. This isn't just about one missed PR opportunity. It's about a league that can't figure out what to do with a superstar who doesn't play by their old, tired rulebook.
It elevated television ratings, it elevated attendance, and it damn sure elevated franchise value. But now, something that y'all resisted talking about, opining about, acknowledging.
While sports leagues everywhere are built around marketable superstars, think LeBron James, Steph Curry, the WNBA somehow found a unicorn in Caitlin Clark and decided, maybe we'll just let her fend for herself. She's smashing attendance records, pulling TV numbers most women's sports can only dream about. And yet, the league treats her like an awkward inconvenience instead of a once-in-a-lifetime golden ticket.
Some haterade in the league in regards to Clark starting with WNBA legend Cheryl Swoops herself.
And that's exactly why Stephen A's criticism landed like a bomb. The stakes couldn't be higher. This isn't just about Caitlin. It's about the WNBA's entire future. Fans are screaming for leadership. They want someone at the top who gets it, who isn't scared to amplify the obvious superstar standing right in front of them. Because if the WNBA keeps mismanaging this moment, it's not just going to slow growth, it's going to slam it into reverse. Smith didn't rant because he hates the league. He ranted because he wants it to succeed. But success means facing the fact that a few weak Instagram posts and vague slogans aren't enough. The WNBA needs a plan, a vision, a backbone.
I said Caitlin Clark, rising tide lifts all boats. As much as her presence was maximized by the WNBA, you players could have done more to assist it.
Speaking of weak leadership, let's talk about Cathy Engelbert's latest attempt at spin control. When the commissioner finally got some major airtime on national platforms like 60 Minutes and CNBC's Power Lunch, fans and players braced themselves for some clarity, some vision, maybe even an ounce of energy. Instead, Engelbert delivered the verbal equivalent of a shrug. No urgency, no passion, just a lot of corporate fluff that made everyone wonder if she even watches the games. In her 60 Minutes interview, Engelbert was tossed a softball. What do you think about Caitlin Clark's impact? This was her moment to plant a flag, to rally support behind the brightest star the league has seen in decades. Instead, she gave one of the most deflating answers imaginable. No league is about one player.
I noticed when you're asking about Caitlin a lot, you bring up other rookies as well.
No league's ever about one player. That player could get hurt or whatever. So I think it's just to give recognition that in sports, people watch for compelling content and rivalries. And you can't do that alone as one person.
Translation: we're scared of putting too many eggs in the Clark basket. Which is crazy because the WNBA's entire marketing strategy right now should be Caitlin Clark and friends. Imagine if the NBA responded to Jordan's rise with, "Hey, we're bigger than Michael." Good luck with that. By pretending Caitlin isn't the center of attention, Engelbert and her advisors are not just wasting momentum. They're insulting the intelligence of fans who know exactly who's making them buy tickets, watch games, and talk about the WNBA at the water cooler.
You know basketball. You know basketball. You know basketball. You know basketball better than me. You know basketball than any of the pundits. You know basketball better than most of the men that play basketball. There is no way in hell you just accidentally left Caitlin Clark's name out of that soliloquy that you dropped about the Indiana Fever. Stop it. You know that. Stop it.
While technically correct, Cathy Engelbert's "no league is about one player" comment landed like a lead balloon. It didn't just sound neutral. It felt dismissive, almost intentionally minimizing the very superstar who has ignited record-breaking viewership, ticket sales, and media attention. Instead of celebrating the rising tide that Caitlin Clark brought in, Engelbert came off like she was trying to downplay it, and fans immediately noticed. Within minutes, social media lit up with outrage, calling out the WNBA for fumbling the rarest opportunity it's had in decades. The cracks widened during Engelbert's appearance on CNBC's Power Lunch. Rather than addressing urgent concerns like player safety, officiating disasters, and fair treatment, she defaulted to safe buzzwords and stale marketing lines. Rivalries, excitement, storytelling, all the fluffy stuff. It was like listening to a CEO dodging responsibility after a bad earnings report. Fans, players, and analysts were begging for something more. Real leadership, real accountability. Instead, they got a corporate smokescreen. And in that moment, the gap between league leadership and reality became crystal clear.
One white, one black. And so we have that moment with these two. But the one thing I know about sports, you need rivalry. That's what makes people watch. They want to watch games of consequence between rivals. They don't want everybody being nice to one another.
But this isn't just a PR headache. It's a ticking time bomb with real consequences. While Engelbert gushed about rivalries driving ratings, actual players are out there risking injury in games marred by inconsistent officiating. Caitlin Clark, who's brought more attention to the WNBA than anyone in recent memory, isn't asking for special treatment. She's asking for a fair shot at doing her job without being battered every night. Yet the league leadership seems more concerned with spinning narratives than protecting its stars. If they don't fix these foundational issues, the WNBA could end up alienating the exact audience Clark pulled in.
It's a balance, but certainly from a marketing dollars, but corporate partners are stepping up to endorse these players much more so than they were 5 years ago.
Officiating, in particular, has become a glaring embarrassment. Calls swing wildly from hyper-aggressive to mysteriously invisible, leaving players confused and fans furious. It's not just about bad whistles, it's about player safety. Caitlin Clark thrives by pushing the tempo and attacking the rim. But with the current state of officiating, she's basically being set up as a moving target. The prime example? One of the most absurd technical fouls in WNBA history, Clark tapping the ring post and getting teed up for it. The video went viral, and fans roasted the league non-stop for weeks.
And Caitlin Clark gets hit with a technical. After
I got a technical for basically being mad at myself because I missed the three and then I went and hit the backboard, and he told me it was disrespectful to the game of basketball.
The question on everyone's mind, would Diana Taurasi have gotten that same tech for the exact same action? Not a chance.
He picks off the pass, and Diana Taurasi, they'll count the bucket. And one coming up for DT.
The inconsistency screams louder than Engelbert's buzzwords ever could. The message is clear. There's a double standard, and Clark is on the wrong side of it. And it's not just one bad call, it's a pattern. Game after game, players like Clark face cheap shots, reckless plays, and dangerous fouls, all while the referees swallow their whistles. Meanwhile, the WNBA brass continues peddling storylines about rivalries heating up, pretending that's what fans want. Sorry, but fans aren't tuning in for sloppy officiating and reckless endangerment. They're coming to see elite basketball played at the highest level, and they're getting tired of the league's inability to deliver it cleanly.
Yeah, and the one thing as a very long-term sports fan I know is that officiating and refereeing is always at the top of a fan's list, of the media's list. Obviously, not every, they're humans.
The dangerous fouls Clark endured throughout her rookie campaign weren't just random acts of physical play. They were predictable and preventable. Fans watched in disbelief as game after game, Clark took punishing hits with little to no protection from referees. Critics and analysts raised alarms about player safety repeatedly, yet league leadership stayed radio silent, too busy dreaming up their next hashtag campaign to actually enforce their rules. Compare Clark's situation to the NBA. There, a superstar takes a hard foul and the league reacts, reviewing the play, assessing fines, adjusting officiating standards to protect their investment. In the WNBA, a blatant elbow to Caitlin Clark's face barely raises an eyebrow from the league office. The contrast is staggering, and it highlights just how woefully unprepared the WNBA is for the increased attention and physicality Clark's star power brings.
Don't tell me Caitlin Clark gets a special whiff so ever again. One call was an ejection and the other was a common foul. Now, let's replay this one more damn time. So I can see right here. This was the exact same damn play. Look, same play. Same play, bro. Look
Bridges
at
the
this.
miss.
Are you
Tatum the
serious
rebound.
right
He
here?
discarded
Boom.
LaMelo.
Same
He
play.
got crushed by Williams at
Same
half
play.
court.
Now, Grant Williams was ejected for that.
Beyond the officiating mess, the WNBA's inability to capitalize on Caitlin Clark's historic rise is nothing short of shocking. When Clark broke records and packed arenas, fans waited for the league to strike while the iron was molten hot. Instead, what they got was an underwhelming trickle of promotions, slow merchandise restocks, and a baffling reluctance to plaster Clark's image everywhere humanly possible. Clark's rookie season wasn't just an impressive performance, it was a cultural moment. She dragged women's basketball into the mainstream spotlight by sheer force of talent and charisma. And instead of sprinting to meet that moment, the WNBA seemed content to limp along, letting once-in-a-generation momentum slip through its fingers. Jerseys sold out within hours, arenas reached standing room only, and TV viewership shattered expectations. And still, the league's promotional efforts felt half-hearted at best.
Nobody wants to believe that this league could actually be that dense. Professional league, guys. We're not talking about a rec league. We're not talking about even a high school team. Nobody believes that anybody is that clueless.
It's not just missed marketing dollars, it's missed legacy building. Caitlin Clark didn't just elevate her own brand, she lifted the entire sport. New fans from college hoops, NBA circles, and casual sports watchers flocked to the WNBA because of her. She created a bridge between sports worlds that had never connected before. And yet, somehow, the league didn't seem ready or willing to cross it. Instead of doubling down on Clark's generational impact, the WNBA kept trying to spread the spotlight to everyone equally. Noble in theory, disastrous in practice. In a sports landscape that thrives on star power, pretending every player is equal isn't growth. It's self-sabotage. Clark wasn't just another rookie. She was the moment. She is the moment. And the longer the league resists embracing that, the bigger the risk it runs of losing momentum.
Such an incredible moment on a global scale for our game, for our players.
It's like the fans are absolutely incredible. It's the same when we go on the road. Like there's so many people that are showing up in fever gear. It's really affecting, teams all across our league, which is a really great thing. And, really, I think we're just scratching the surface.
Fans aren't blind. They've watched Clark single-handedly inject life into the WNBA's ratings, ticket sales, and merchandise. They've also watched the league trip over itself, trying to avoid giving her too much credit. And the longer this charade continues, the more obvious it becomes. It's not just bad strategy, it's willful negligence. Meanwhile, Commissioner Kathy Engelbert continues to deliver bland sound bites and deflections on major platforms, somehow managing to make the most exciting era of WNBA basketball sound like a quarterly shareholders meeting. If you're a fan hoping for a dynamic voice at the top, someone ready to shout from the rooftops about what Caitlin Clark means for the future, you're still waiting.
We're bringing more and more fans to this league, people that have maybe never watched the WNBA before, and it kind of takes your breath away at points. Like
what the league needs isn't more hashtags, vague promises, or everyone gets a trophy mentality. It needs vision. It needs leadership that understands sports are driven by stars, by narratives, by moments that demand center stage, not moments diluted into safe, corporatized mush. Caitlin Clark gave the WNBA a master key to unlock levels of success the league has never seen before. Whether they're smart enough and bold enough to use it is still up for debate. The league stands at a fork in the road. One path leads to sustained growth, packed arenas, booming merchandise sales, and a real cultural footprint. The other path leads to stagnation, a missed moment, and the sour taste of what could have been. Fans see the choice. Analysts see the choice. And thanks to Stephen A. Smith ripping the Band-Aid off, everyone now knows there's no more hiding from it. So what's it going to be, Kathy? The clock's ticking. If you stand with Caitlin, drop a CC is the GOAT down in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.